Hello, my name is Michelle Ware, and today I'm going to talk to you about the company General Mills. I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with their cereals and some of their other famous food brands, but today I'm going to be giving a brief history, but more importantly, I am going to focus on their global initiatives responsibilities and also the matching gift program that they offer to their employees. So General Mills began in 1866 by a gentleman of the name Cadwalader Washburn. He was a former teacher, lawyer, farmer, but more importantly, he was a general under Abraham Lincoln. This gave him the resources to be able to create the mill. Washburn decided to choose St. Anthony Falls in Minnesota as his location to build his mill because, of course, back then, a source of water was power. He began his business milling the flour, and things weren't going very well. The community wasn't responding to it, and the business was going awful. A gentleman by the name of Charles Pillsbury, a younger gentleman, he decided that Washburn was up to something. So he too had the great idea of creating a mill, but he did so on the opposite side of St. Anthony Falls. Charles Pillsbury, on the other hand, his business flourished right away. It doesn't say what it was, but his business just took off. Washburn continued to mill and continued to create his products with not very much success. A few years go by and there was a huge explosion that happened in Washburn's mill. Unfortunately, this killed about 18 people, and the explosion happened due to the conditions of milling and flour and the dry conditions. This gave Washburn the fuel and the motivation to research and to develop new technologies to help with the milling industry. The technologies and everything that he came up with, it changed the milling industry. He provided a way to where you can mill and have more ventilation to prevent such fires from happening. Washburn, he thought outside of his business, and he actually went to his competitor, Pillsbury, and he told him everything that he knew regarding the new technologies and how to better mill so that he could too prevent anything from like that tragedy happening. This was very unheard of. Of course, you wouldn't give your business secrets, but Washburn did because he cared more about the people. After the tragedy, but the new technologies, the milling industry began to expand. With both the companies milling, it became a lot more popular, it became more necessary, and people began to really recognize the milling industry. The milling industry continued to thrive, and Washburn had passed away, and then a gentleman by the name of James Ford Bell had taken over. James Ford Bell continued the company, and it became very popular to where he was offered a $40 million deal to sell the mill. This went through because he did not own all of the rights to the mill, so the deal fell through. He then continued to run the mill, and he decided to partner up with a rich banker by the name of Baker. And this is how on June 20th, 1928, General Mills was born between the union of James Ford Bell and Baker. General Mills was then very, very successful. They continued to acquire different brands. They continued to create different brands as well, such as Nestle, Yoplait yogurt, Haagen-Dazs ice cream. They also had a very advanced service team, and they began to contribute to the military. They created torpedoes and a submersive vehicle, and they also created a balloon that could carry military equipment into the air. This was very important for the development of the company. General Mills and Pillsbury, the competitor, they continued to thrive. Both businesses were very successful in their own ways. General Mills just continued to expand, but Pillsbury also expanded globally. They continue to acquire different brands and create different brands around the globe. It wasn't until July 2000 that General Mills and Pillsbury, they began to speak, and a deal was struck, and the two companies merged and became one. The new company was set, and it was started on October 31st, 2001. So that was a brief history of the company. As you can see from the beginning, with Washburn's technology and their military contributions that they gave, and just the initial fact that Washburn cared more about people. To give his secrets to his then competitor, they cared more about safety, they cared more about people. They care about variety and happiness of their companies. That's why they continue to acquire different brands and also create different brands for more and more people to love. General Mills, they pride themselves on having great responsibility, not only to their customers, but just globally and to the earth. General Mills has a global responsibilities initiatives. They created the General Mills Foundation. They have 3 focuses in the General Mills Foundation. And the 3 main focuses is increasing food security. And they do this by providing organic food and just making sure that people around the country have access to nutritious foods. They also believe in advancing sustainable agriculture. They focus on their growing. They protect several habitats. They also invest in other companies that develop food, which create ingredients for General Mills' products. They also believe in strengthening hometown communities. They are very community oriented. They have developed different grants for people. They have invested in different causes, and they continue to create different opportunities just to grow communities all over. So some of their accomplishments towards their initiatives is by creating organic food. General Mills, they are the 2nd largest producer of organic foods in the United States. They also have audits on their companies, and they pride themselves on these audits because it helps provide safe food for their customers. They really believe that auditing and making sure that they are up to date and that they know all the regulations are very important. They also believe in protecting our planet. They created a project for greenhouse gas emissions, and they were very successful. From 2010 to 2018, they were able to reduce their gas emissions by 13%. More accomplishments for General Mills and their Global Initiatives Foundation is in 2018, they had given over $102 million worth of donations and foods all across the globe. They had given about 29 million meals globally. They were able to feed and support 28,000 people, especially those in Africa who were invested in the cocoa industry. They were able to help fund, invest, and supply them with the resources that they need to help their people thrive and get the food that they need. Their matching gifts program is very, very important to them. They are participating in the matching gifts program, in which they give their employees a chance to choose a nonprofit that they can donate to. They take the donations, and General Mills will match their donations. You can be a full-time or part-time employee to participate in this program. The minimum amount that you can donate is $25, but the maximum is $1,000. So just think if you and other employees all across the nation are giving up to $1,000, and General Mills is matching those donations to those nonprofits. This has helped the company become successful not only in the food industry, but it has become just an overall initiative towards the earth. They are very, very they are very, very oriented in just providing great products and giving back to the earth. Not just for their company, they look and they want to expand and do things for the earth and for its people. I was very happy to be able to research this company and to learn more about them, and it makes me more excited to purchase products for them, knowing that they do have these opportunities. So in conclusion, I did just want to say that General Mills, the company, it's a great company. They are not focused on business. You can see all the way back from Washburn, his focus on safety and people, it really molded the company into what it is today. Their global initiatives, responsibilities, and their matching gifts program is just a way that they show how they give back to the community for you purchasing and continually to accepting their products and receiving the nutritious food that they offer. This helps with the company's continued success, and it has allowed them to sustain over time.